Life will take you through many different seasons, and the person that you were in the season before is not the same person that you'll need to be in this new season that you're in now. Have you heard of the saying, new levels, new devils? Well, it's very similar. You become a different person based off of circumstance or the situation. And I'm not saying that everything about you changes, right? In some cases, that may be true, but not in every case. What I'm saying is things that you thought you knew about yourself, or ideas or perspectives that you had about certain things that you thought were just concrete aren't, right? It's different things. What am I saying? I'm saying that the person who I was when I was single before I got married is not at all the person that I am now that I'm married. You'd be like, well, duh, naturally, you're going to change. Let me break it down to you like this. In a sense, I felt like I knew who I was when I was single. I knew my pet peeves, I knew my boundaries, my deal breakers, my triggers that I worked on so I didn't have any triggers. I took the time to do the work, to work on myself. I let my demons come to the surface so that I can name them one by one and overcome them, right? I did the mental healing, the physical healing, the spiritual and emotional healing. Like, I put the time in for years. 5 years worth. I did that. And so when you do that, you get to a place where you don't know everything and you haven't arrived, but you have a solid foundation in understanding about yourself and where you're at and who you are, especially if you incorporate Christ into your relationships, into your relationship rather, and he's the one like guiding you and spearheading you. Yeah, you have things to bring to the table, right? You do. You have a lot to bring to the table. You're healed, you're whole, you're intellectually and emotionally and spiritually fit and sound. You have awareness, you've matured, you're disciplined, you've grown. Man, you're like you're like an eclipse. Only come around every once in a while and you're rare. And not everyone sees you, right? You're like unreal. But in all of that, in doing all that and becoming all that, you develop an identity about yourself over time where you know who you are. You know, it's that simple. And you've got yourself down packed. Because it's just yourself. It's just you. So then how does that translate to being in a relationship? How does that translate to being married? And I look at it like this. All the work and effort and time that I invested into myself when I was single was only enough to carry me through during that period of time in my singleness. It was enough for me when I was single. But now that I'm in a relationship or that I'm married, that requires a new level of everything. The same efforts and things that I did to whip myself into shape mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally when I was single are not the same practices and efforts and plans that I need now that I'm with someone. The reality is, you can't operate off the same work and effort that you put in to yourself when you were single. Now that you're in a relationship with someone, the requirement is different. You have to do more. Whatever you did before you got with whoever you're with was just enough for you in that season. Now that you're in a new season, maybe it's a whole new ball field, and you're gonna need to double the ante. That's just really what it boils down to. And I think a lot of people, myself included, get that harsh reality check after the honeymoon phase starts to settle a little bit, and then things aren't so cutesy anymore. And you have to stop and check yourself and be like, hold up. Then you have that revelation like, okay, everything that I did up until this point was enough for me in that season, for whoever I was then. But it is not going to sustain me, and it is not going to be enough to carry me through this new season, in this new relationship that I'm in with a whole nother person. That's what it won't do. And to think that you can operate on the past work you did on yourself when you were by yourself in a previous season, thinking that you can bring that into your new season, in your new relationship, that is unreal, and it does not work. You basically are starting all over again, in a sense, but times two, because it's not only about you, right? It's not only for yourself, it's for the other person. And I think that's one thing that women and men need to realize. The work that you're doing for you in a season where it's just you, that's good. And some of it can be applied and used when you get into a relationship, but not all of it. And you are going to have to, it is a requirement, you are going to have to do twice as much work now that you are in a relationship or talking to someone. For those of you who aren't in a relationship and you want to be in one, you aspire to eventually, catch this now. Catch it now. Woof. And that's where you get tested. That's where you get triggered. And then you kind of feel like, dang, all the work that I did on myself for these exact things that I'm experiencing now in this relationship, it's like it never happened. It doesn't matter because it doesn't make no difference. You don't get into a relationship with someone for yourself. You get into a relationship with somebody for them, for the other person. And if you really want to take it a step further, biblically, there is no such thing as dating in the Bible. There's courting, but ultimately, the only thing you ever hear spoken, the only thing you ever read about is marriage. Just saying. So if you want to keep it all the way real, you're supposed to be preparing yourself for your husband and for your wife. Not for no side chick, no baby mama, no girlfriend, no nothing out here. All that stuff ain't even real. It's not how it's supposed to be done. No disrespect to whatever situations y'all got going on out there. We don't always get it right. But once you know better, you do better. And the truth is that there's one way to do things. And if you're doing anything outside of the truth, then you're just wrong. And you can try and justify it however you want. Make yourself feel good, whatever, lie to yourself. But that's not going to help you. Especially if you have a relationship with God. You should already know better. Unless it's just an accessory that you like to show off or name drop or shout out every once in a while. That's not great either. If anything, that's worse. So, ooh, nobody wants to hear the truth. Everybody likes the truth until it starts to hurt their feelings. And then where you guys' feelings start to get hurt, that's where you need to really start looking at. Because that's where the work is. That's where the work needs to be done. Whenever your feelings start to get hurt, that's how you know you're not mature, you're not healthy, and you're not whole in that area yet. But you can become with a little work. No one should be able to trigger us. No one should be able to get us out of character. But it don't happen that way, right? The truth is, people piss us off. They irritate us. They annoy us. For whatever reason. Sometimes it's literally just that. But other times it's bigger than that and much deeper than that. And I think we all know what's healthy in regards to responding and reacting to things that bother us and what's not a healthy response. And so if this is something that isn't a healthy response, then it's something that you need to put your attention towards and work on, because it's only going to get bad for you, especially if you want to move forward and have a life with someone or have a relationship or a partnership. Like, you can't carry those kinds of things into that relationship. He's going to eat it up. If not in the beginning, eventually over time, because you can only pretend to be one way for so long. Your true self will definitely come out. And that's just when things get complicated, stressful. It don't even have to be all that. That's why it's important to start the work on yourself before you decide to get into a relationship with somebody. Like, you have to have things to bring to the table. And I'm not just talking about your good looks and your good job and your cool car and your gym membership. Nobody cares about that. All that stuff is surface. And if we're being honest, anyone who wants the basics can do that, right? After all of that goes away, then what are you left with? A temper, bad relationship history, trauma. Like, you want this great person who has all these amazing characteristics and qualities about themselves, but like, did you even stop to think about if you are even that great person? Do you have all those great qualities and characteristics about yourself? Would someone think that you're the best thing that ever happened to them? You know what I mean? Like, what do you bring? What do you give? What do you have to offer? And if you're not looking for anything real, then I guess you're okay with being mediocre and doing the bare minimum. And maybe some stupid person who's probably hurt and broken and doesn't know any better will fall for that, and that's sad, but that's the best that you could do. Like, you're okay with settling for that? Like, you shouldn't be. You should want more for yourself. My mom always used to say, and she still does to this day, the measure you give out is the measure that you're going to get back. And that's even in the Bible. Hey Siri, what scripture says the measure you give out is the measure you will receive? Luke 6:38. Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Yes, please. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." So basically, the measure that you give is the measure that you're going to give back. And don't quote me, this is the Bible. And you may not fool with the Bible, but you might need to start fooling with the Bible. Okay? The Bible is the real GOAT. It has all the gems. It has all the secrets. It has the blueprint, right? It has all the codes, the cheat codes that you need for your life, for becoming a better person, for becoming who God called you to be. That's what it's really all about. Anything else is like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your time? Just saying. Preparing yourself the way that God has instructed you to, and also preparing yourself for whoever God allows you to be with should be of your highest priority. You have to know yourself. To know yourself is to know God. He's your creator. And until you fully know who you are in Christ, you'll never know who you are in a relationship, and you'll never know what role you play in your relationships. Not even intimate ones, in your friendships, in your family. And that's a fact. It's not cute to not know who you are outside of your monetary, materialistic, physical things. All that is fleeting. It's going to be here, and then it's going to be gone the next, just like that. And at the end of it all, what do you have to show for? Think about that. No, it's deep. I'm not talking deep. I'm being honest. I'm being real. It's not cute to not have yourself together internally, spiritually, emotionally. Nobody wants that. I've done it. I've been there. I looked good on the outside for a long time and thought I had it figured out on the inside. Just going through life hurting all kinds of people, breaking all kinds of hearts, thinking I knew what I was doing. I had no idea. But that's what happens. We end up, what? experiencing and learning and figuring things out at the cost of other people, when it's up to us to really do the work, the real work. Therapy is cool. I think you should go and talk about your problems for sure, no doubt. But you want to get some real hands-on, some real change your life counseling. You already know what I'm going to say, or you should. Take it up with God. Just saying. He is your creator. He knows you better than anybody. He knows exactly what you need, and he can tell you what you need to do, how you need to do it, where you need to go, how you need to go about it. He can give you the play. In reality, we already have the play. It's just up to us to run it. But we don't want to run it because it's the generation we live in now. It's the world that we live in now, this day and age. We just want everything so quick. We don't want to have to do the work, right? So don't do the work. But don't be expecting the red carpet rollout when it comes to the important things that you want in your life. You got to pay to play. And I'm not talking about financially. You got to get some skin in the game, some real skin in the game. I'm just trying to help y'all, make it a little easier for you. I mean, I haven't arrived. I'm still learning and working through these kinks, you know, like I'm a sinner. I'm a flawed person, but I've been saved by God's grace and his forgiveness and his mercy. And all I can do is focus on being better each and every day, you know, being less of a bummer, right? Being less of a F up, being less of a failure, being less of myself, right? And he knows that we can't do that without him. But he's patient and he's kind and he's gracious and he waits. He waits for us to get it together. Hopefully we do. Some of us, I don't know if we ever will. You know, there's always some. There's some who just won't. We can't save them all. It's not about saving everybody. It's about the ones that we can. But we still try and strive for everyone, right? That's the agenda. So if this is for you, hold on to it and receive it. You know that it's a process and you got to do your part. And you have to do that with God. You can't do it without him. And he'll continue to direct your path and show you those important things along the way. Show you the things that you need. Give you the things that you need to. Oof. Yeah, I don't know I was coming like this. Well, if you're still hanging out with me, thank you. I hope this blessed you. We're in it together. I'm still learning and trying to get it right. That's what it's all about. I mean, if we could have it all figured out, why would we need God for? You know, plus his strength is made perfect in our weakness. And so we should relish in the fact that we can't, because that just gives him more of an opportunity to show you that he can. And he loves that. He loves saving the day. He loves being our hero. We let him. Some of y'all out there need to let him. I realized a long time ago, it's easier to go with the current than to go against it. Meaning, I got out of the driver's seat of my life a long time ago and I let Jesus take the wheel, take it from my hands, cause I can't do this on my own. I'm letting go, so give me one more chance, save me from this road I'm on. I told y'all about little trigger words, and I'm a singer, so it only takes one. It only takes one for me to be singing a whole song. No, but for real though. Yeah, it's scarier for a second, but it's easier, and then you realize you were never in control in the first place. Like, what's going to happen is going to happen. And the only thing you can really do is your part. And I'll give you a secret. That's all you need to do. Because God literally will do the rest. The measure you give, right? If you give him something to work with, then he'll work with you. It's pretty simple if you really break it down. but it's pretty hard getting out of your own way. And then also realizing that you're effed up and you have to work on yourself. No one loves that. It actually becomes something that you get really great at. You're just like, yeah, I'm the worst. But it's okay because God loves me. He's got me. He's going to take care of me. That doesn't give you a pass to act crazy and just continue to sin and do whatever you want now. You know, that's not the same. It's once you know better, then you have to do better. And sometimes that's repetitive and it's a process. So, just some things to think about. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for tuning into this episode. If you are a returning listener, you already know I love you. And if this is your first time or you're new, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. It's divine appointment, like I always say. And this is where God wanted you to be. So I hope to see you on the next episode. Go back and watch some of my previous episodes if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel here, okay? And subscribe to my podcast, Ready or Not with Visuewelle. And follow me on Instagram and all the other things that I have posted up there. Yeah, be encouraged, be loved, be light, be easy.